Police called it an orchestrated abduction, a 4-year-old boy taken from his Jupiter home.
When detectives issued an Amber Alert, they plastered the boy's grandfather and step-grandmother's faces everywhere. Since the boy has been returned to his mother, there have been many new developments.
Tonight, and only on 5, the boy's mother tells Michelle Casada what is going on. Michelle?
Michael Kelly, Danielle Caprio got her son back only to have him taken away again. A judge turned over temporary guardianship to the child's grandfather and his wife, the same couple named as suspects in the boy's abduction. Jupiter police say multiple people were involved in the kidnapping, but only one person is behind bars, the boy's nanny. Danielle told me the person she blames the least.
It's the worst feeling. It's like a pit in my stomach that I don't sleep at night. Every little kid I hear, I turn, I think it's my son.
Danielle Caprio feels like she's been ripped apart from her son all over again.
I said, I'm going to come back for you. I'm coming for you. And he goes, you promise? I said, I promise.
A promise she plans to keep. Her son was abducted from their Jupiter home last month, police say initially by his nanny, Blanca Castro. The chief called what happened an orchestrated kidnapping with several people playing a role. Among them, police identified Danielle's father, Louis Caprio, and his wife, Elizabeth. They live in Miami.
It was about 4 hours later when my dad responded to the police, and all he said was, all you have to know is he's safe. And how are you to know it was the nanny that took him, is what he said. The detective had him on speakerphone.
The boy was eventually returned safely through an attorney communicating with police. All this time, Blanca Castro was behind bars.
Yes, she was sitting in prison, in jail at Miami-Dade County for something she didn't do.
Who bailed her out?
My dad.
Danielle told me her father asked her to move out of the Jupiter apartment he owns days before the abduction took place. When she got Dominic back, she took him to Boston, where Danielle's mother lives.
I gave my mom temporary guardianship over Dominic in Massachusetts when we left my dad's house that he owns in Jupiter.
A difficult decision for Danielle given all Dominic had gone through, but she said she had to go into treatment.
I'm in recovery and I relapsed after all this craziness had been going on. And I got myself together and I got clean, and I did it for my son and for myself. And I thought I was doing the right thing for him.
But the temporary guardianship she gave to her mother did not last. Her father got a Massachusetts judge to turn Dominic over to him and bring the child back to Florida to work out his guardianship in Florida courts.
Before I had to hand him over to the police station, I bent down and I got on my knee and I said to him, I said, Dom, you trust Mommy? And he said, yeah, Mommy, I trust you. I said, it may be a little while. I said, but you know Mommy loves you, and we have this thing. I say, Mom, I love you, and he goes, and we finish it, to the moon and back, forever and always. And I'm like, are you my guy? And he goes, yes. And he goes, are you my mommy? And I'm like, yes. And we did that.
Since Dominic's safe return, Jupiter police refused to say anything about the case, saying it's an ongoing investigation and the state attorney's office is involved. Danielle told me detectives won't return her calls. She wants to know how her father went from being a suspect in an abduction to gaining temporary guardianship of her son.
They're not going to keep him. They're not going to get him. It's not going to happen. I don't care how much money they have.
There's a fight for guardianship underway. The Caprios were in court yesterday and our cameras were the only ones there. Coming up at 6, who Danielle says took her son from her home last month and why her parents want guardianship of Dominic.